We're back with the bad vibe with Dwight and Jeremy. Anyway,
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to say I'm Dwight, but I guess they know by now.
You know, anyways.
Dude, 2 nights ago, Sunday night,
All right.
I went to get pizza, and I went to Pizza Hut. And anyway, so I ordered on the app, right? Because I do that now. I'm basically like
You get points.
I'm a futuristic.
You get points. I'm not trying to be like a spokesman for Pizza Hut or anything, but you get points, and you get free pizza. Fuck them.
If anyone from Pizza Hut's listening, we do enjoy your product.
Duh.
They're like, we know, we've seen pictures.
Oh,
No,
shit.
so anyway, so I ordered on the app, and it like something didn't work right because I always ordered on the app, but I didn't have like an account set up, and it would always say, "Do you want to set an account? You could have earned this many points." So I finally did it, and I set up the thing. But then, so I made my whole order on the app, and then I went, and when it comes time to pay, I set up my account, and then I clicked like pay now, and it said, "Can't pay now. You got to wait at least 5 minutes after your last order." And I was like, but I never finished the last order. So I dicked with it, because I wanted to make sure it was ordered. You know, it was very important. I didn't want to get there and there's no pizza.
How many times did you place this order?
Okay. So that's where we're going with this. So anyway, so I went back and I did it again. Really?
Okay.
And so when I got there, and I paid with cash. So when I got there, they're like, I said, I used my son's name. And they said, yeah. They said, did you order 2 orders? And I was like, no. And they're like, well, it shows here 2 of the exact same orders. And I knew what it was, but I was like, I don't know. I ordered on the app. The app probably fucked up or whatever. And they're like, oh, okay. They're like, well, did you want both of them?
We'll eat them. I mean,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're like, did you want both of them? And I was like, want? Yes.
Like, we'll pick the nasty shit over this one and just eat it.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like, did you want both orders? And I was like, well, I mean, I want both orders, but I don't want to pay for both orders.
Yeah.
Like, is it free? Or
Yeah.
And I was like, no, just the one. I was like, y'all's app must have messed up or whatever. So they're like, oh, okay. So I paid.
Yeah.
Go home, eat my pizza, whatever. Like, way late that night, like closing time of Pizza Hut, I guess, like 11, I get a call from, like, that town. I was like, the fuck? So I answered it, because sometimes it's, like, scams, but usually not at night and shit.
Yeah.
So I answered it, and they're like, is Colin there? And I was like, no. And they're like, there's no, like, Colin Achilles, no. And I was like, who is this? And they're like, from Pizza Hut? And I was like, oh yeah, that's me. And they're like, oh, did you order a pizza today? And I was like, yes. And they're like, did you come get it? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, did you pay for it? And I was like, yes. You know? I was like, I did all those things, yeah. And
Like, was it good?
yeah, I'm like, not bad.
What'd you do when you got home? Right? They just keep asking questions.
Yeah.
Did you go 45 miles an hour on their way back home?
Yeah.
You're like, no, I went 90. I was
Were
hungry.
you scratching your nuts when you came across the overpass? I'm like, who are you? I felt like Will Smith on that one movie.
All of a sudden, they say something in your ear.
You're like,
Oh shit! The TV flickers and like they're watching you. You know, like on that fucking Enemy Estate.
it's like, Momo says, eat your pizza. I'm like, ah! I just start stabbing myself in the chest with that little tripod thing that holds the pizza
Yeah,
box
they
up.
don't do that
I
anymore.
know, I wish they
I think it was like Domino's that did for a while, and then they
I miss it.
that little like it looks like a little table.
Yeah, I remember
Right.
one time it was like, there was this thing. It was like the early days of me like navigating the internet. Maybe like social media when I first got like Facebook or something. And it was this thing that's like 10 things you didn't know what they were for. And one of them was that. And I was like, who the fuck didn't know what that was? I knew what that was
That
for
was
when
to
I
hold
was
the pizza,
7.
the box off your pizza.
I knew what that was for when I was like 7.
But they just designed boxes better now, where you don't need that.
But even but who didn't know what that was for? They're like, if you didn't know what it's for, how mind blowing must it have been when you open the box? You're like, what is this? Yeah. What is this sorcery?
You're chewing on it.
I thought it was a deformed pepperoni.
You're all like, why didn't they give us more?
It looked like cheese just like came up in this like weird shape in the middle.
Oh shit!
Seriously, who didn't know? So everybody had to know. But
they try to put the pizza on it to eat. They're all sitting around
Like
it in
it's
the
a
middle
little
of the floor.
plate.
They're sitting around it in the middle of the floor.
it's like Chinese pizza.
Right.
They're all sitting.
What is this? A table for ants? Oh shit!
So she asked me all these.
They use it to pick up pepperonis.
They use it as a fork. It probably would work pretty good for that. Oh shit! So she's asked me all these questions, and I was like, "Yeah, I paid and all that." And I kind of knew what was going on, but I didn't feel like getting into it because it was late. So I was just like, "Yeah, I paid." They're like, "Okay," and you had one order, you paid, and you got your pizza, right? And I was like, "Correct." She's like, "And who took your money?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know, some girl." And like, was she kind of short? And I was thinking, like, first of all, they were all Hispanic girls. They were all kind of short. I mean, I'm 6 feet tall, which is above average. Everybody there was much shorter than me, except the black dude in the back. He's like 6'3", probably pretty good basketball.
Did she have a nice ass? You're like, they're Mexican. They all have nice asses.
I really was thinking, like, if they would have I didn't know how to say it without sounding like, nowadays you can't be too misogynistic.
Yeah.
It was the hotter one of the ones who worked, the better looking one of the ones who, but I didn't know. I was clearly probably not talking to the one that took my order.
You're like, yeah, I want a piece of that ass.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, anytime one of us says something like that and then it gets quiet, we're both trying to think of another one.
Yeah.
So, you know how funny we're not when we're quiet after a little zinger like that. So, but yeah, the only way I knew to describe her was she was the better looking of the girls working there. But so I was like, I don't know. They're like, did she have like a ponytail? And I was like, yeah, maybe.
What the fuck are they getting at?
Oh, well, here's what they were getting at. They think somebody stole. Because what happened was there was an order for a pizza for me that was still there. It didn't get sent out.
Yeah.
And there was no money for it.
Oh.
So there was money for one of my orders, but there was the other orders, like $20 I owed them or whatever, that nobody paid. Because the girl was real quick when I said, she said, do you want to pay for this one too? And I said, no. She was like, oh, okay. So, because they were going to eat the pizza, So she was real quick to like, oh, that's good. Just take your pizza and get the fuck out of here. So, I guess the manager was like doing the fucking paperwork at the end.
Yeah, she's a bitch.
And saw that it was... And see, I have a really good friend from high school that works there, but she wasn't there. If she'd have been there, she would have been like, Jeremy, But it was just somebody I didn't know, so I didn't like even talk to her. I was just answer their questions, and I hurried up and got off the phone because I had that weird anxiety, like get off the phone, in this. That's all I cared, in this. But long story short, I probably got the best looking girl at Pizza Hut fired. So if you go there and they're like, "How did you enjoy your?"
Well, we went the day before yesterday.
Did you get anybody fired?
We went Monday. Now, there's all new people there, so I guess so.
You went the day after.
Yeah. It's
all trainees.
Yeah.
They're like, we're getting to the bottom of this. We're just cleaning house.
Actually, when I went, I put my order online, and that part was down. So maybe you fucking did it. We went there, and I was like, hey, I had to place an order. They're like, they looked behind them. Nobody was in the place. They had no orders done, and they're like, when? Who'd you talk to? I was like, I did online. They're like, oh, the online part's down.
Dude, if I brought down Pizza Hut's app, that'll be my greatest accomplishment in life.
They're like,
what else have I done?
They're like, the online part is down today or something like that. This is the day after. It's funny that we both have these stories.
I got a couple of yucks on the internet.
This is real fucking shit, folks. We didn't even know this.
No. I didn't tell him this story the other day.
I know you went to Pizza Hut, and you knew I went to Pizza Hut, but we didn't know we had these things.
Yeah.
So when I go in there, I ordered my pizza online. We ordered 3 pizzas.
How many of what we talk about on here revolves around pizza? A lot.
Pretty often.
I've started another one.
It's either that or gay dudes or transgenders. Transgender pizza.
If you put some jizz on a pizza.
Trans pizza?
It's got a lot of trans fats.
Right.
Trans fats would be what I would be if you cut my dick off.
One side's got meat and the other one doesn't. Right?
I'd be trans fats if you cut my dick off.
You're like, you want a pepperoni pizza? Cut the pepperoni. Right? But anyways, yeah, you can just shove it up your ass, right? But no, when I got there, I told them I had an order for whatever, and they're like, we don't have that. And I was like, well, I put it online. They're like, oh, well, it's down. I'm like, well, it shows right here that my food is ready.
And you went Monday.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I was like, on my app, it says, your food is ready at this location.
The app lied to you.
And I walk in there, and they're like, well, no, it ain't. And I'm like, well, it says right here. And then like, well, I'm sorry, but I was hoping I'd get like a discount or something. They were all right. The manager was kind of like douchey or whatever.
Was it Donna?
I don't know who those people are.
Like a Mexican girl, like kind of thick, about my age.
I guess so, yeah.
That's Donna. Me and her, like, friends since we were, like, 15.
Anyways, she is, like, the manager, I guess, or something.
She's been there since we were, like, freshmen in high school.
And
if she's not the manager, she's fucking retarded.
Well, anyways, so she...
she's been there since the 90s.
So she, like, you know, took my order off the phone or whatever, and then... And this is, like, low-level shit. You order online, you show them the order you placed online so they can write it down. You're like, this is all fucked.
It's like... You send a wire to them.
Yeah, I mean, that's just...
It's like, I stop, need stop, pepperoni stop.
She writes down a little paper. She puts it on a carrier pigeon. He flies to the back.
Yeah.
Right? Fucking feathers all in the pizza and shit.
Some cowboy comes riding in on a horse with a bag full of pizza orders.
Candygram for the cook, right? You know? But
it's
anyway.
the Pepperoni Express.
Yeah, really?
I was way prouder of that than how much you laughed at it.
Really?
Yeah, because Pony Express.
I get it.
You're like, I get it. It's just not funny.
Yeah, you're like, I think I got it.
Do you think there's anybody who likes our podcast? And if somebody was like, what's your favorite podcast? They're like, oh, The Bad Vibe. They're like, what's your favorite comedy podcast? Or you ask them opposite. What's your favorite comedy podcast? Like, whatever. Well, what's your favorite podcast overall? They're like, The Bad Vibe. Like, they like us as a serious podcast. Yeah. They're like, they laugh.
They're like, man,
weirdly.
When they laugh, it gets in the way.
Like, I don't get what they're laughing at, but those guys got some good facts.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever said that.
Yeah, no, they're like, fucking Pizza Hut. Got it right.
But it is crazy, though, that you didn't know that story or whatever.
You went Sunday, crashed the system.
I fucked up, like, and
then ruined our day because we had to go sit out the car for 15 minutes waiting for our pizza.
I might have really crashed it because they had 2 orders for me. I'm pretty sure I did the thing that orders pizza like 15 times. So I was like, I want my fucking pizza. I was like, I'd rather there be 2 minutes.
Their machine is like spitting out papers. Like, it's not doing like the little print and cut. It's just shooting out papers like fast.
Yeah, it's like...
They take it outside and just shoot it into the trash can. Like, it's out of paper, like, smoking.
It cuts to a scene of, like, the rainforest just diminishing. Yeah. It's like you're using up... I don't know.
You show up to all the ashes, and you're like, where's my pizza? Right.
Like, did you want 2?
I did the next day.
They're like, would he at least take 2 of the hundreds of pizzas he ordered? Nope. I just want the one.
Like, we changed our mind.
But it is funny, though, because I had no...
The Papa John's guy's like, right?
Yeah.
You come here, your family, or something. I don't know, whatever his saying is.
You come in here and you're white, your family.
Right?
Oh, dude, speaking of white, my son, all right, you know, and we talk about it a lot, but my son is, like, blonde hair, blue eyes, you know, light complected.
So is Domino's for, like, black people?
I don't know, it's good.
Black people like Domino's.
Do they?
I'm playing Domino's.
Oh, yeah, they do. Yeah, they call it something else. They're like, let's throw them bones.
Yeah.
Shit like that. Never play, I don't
throw them bones?
Yeah, something like that. They're called bones.
Because they look...
kind of like bones, I guess. We always get the cheap ones that were black Dominoes.
Maybe those are made out of bones, right?
I think they were probably like old school was like ivory. Or they were made out of the bones of slaves or something. So why black people, they want to get some use out of their ancestors.
Yeah.
They're like, they were just thrown away, discarded, so at least we're getting something out of them. Oh, man. The racist vibe. Anyway, speaking of racist, so my son, you know, he looks like an Aryan fucking prince or whatever. Mm-hmm. And our family, as we've talked about a lot, is very, like, mixed racially.
You should have named him Jesus. He's blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus.
Yeah.
Right?
I didn't want to put that much pressure on him.
Yeah.
Especially since...
In a town like this, he could just go by Jesus.
Yeah, I know.
Right? And they're like, you don't look like a Jesus. Right?
He's like Mikolo or whatever.
Yeah.
So, our family's very mixed. Like, your kids are half Mexican or whatever, and all of my nieces and nephews are, like, every shade. Like, there's dark complected Mexicans, light complected Mexicans, white people, dark, you know, black people, whatever. So...
They get it.
Yeah, I'm just saying...
There's no Asians. Sorry, people.
I'm just saying...
We don't stoop that low, right? No. Or that high, I guess.
Your wife looks like she could be Asian.
We don't stoop that high.
Yeah, we don't raise ourselves to Asians. None of our kids are good at math, you know?
My son is.
But not Asian good.
He's not good at reading.
He's not already doing y'all's taxes.
No.
You know?
I wish.
So...
He's like, Dad, I saved you like $2,000 here. I'm like, how? And he's like, see? And he's like scratching his...
He claims you as a dependent.
He pats me on the back and he's like, you'll learn.
So anyway, we come from a very diverse family, and my son, it's a little on purpose, but also just because of who we're like friends with. He's friends with all different like kinds of people and stuff. Like my wife works for people that are Indian, so he knows them. Anyway, so today he was taking a shit, and I was sitting there watching him take a shit because being a dad's awesome. And he was like, he's like, Daddy, he's like, some people have darker skin and some people have lighter skin. And I was like, yeah. I was like, see, I have darker skin than you. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, if your family, you have to have the same skin.
So he said?
Yes. And I was like, no. And he's like, well, because if your family, you look the same. And I was like, all right, think about this, son. Because I couldn't be like screaming. I'm like, don't be racist, because then he will be. Next thing you know, it's like the curb stomp scene from American History X. You know. So I was like, look, I was thinking about it. I was like, Macy has way darker skin than you, right? He's like, yeah. I was like, and she's your family, and you love her. And he's like, yeah. I was like, Cecily. And I started naming people that were darker than him, and then naming cousins that were lighter than him.
They're talking to us.
Yeah. And finally, and he was like, oh, okay. I was like, so no matter what you look, your family is people you love. And I was like, it's not what they look like. Because I'm so scared. He could so easily be, like, recruited as some kind of, like, messiah of white nationalists or whatever because of how he looks. You know, he's light complected and the hair.
You tell him all this stuff while taking your shoes off of coming inside the door and the mailman comes in. Mr. Rogers.
No, but it was.
You have this little Mr. Rogers moment.
It does suck, though.
It sounds like off of, like, Growing Pains or something, you know? Like
the music
it's one of
changes
those,
tone.
like,
It's like a learning tone.
Right?
I'm
You're like,
look,
step by step. Right?
I'm like, look, son, everybody.
Race by race, right?
Every shade of color is your family. It's like, except for the, you know, it's just there's one.
Take that song a little further. But.
I can't think of how the words go.
Yeah.
Step by step, race by race. Except for the Jews, we hate their faith. I don't know. We don't have any Jews in our family that I know of. But, yeah, but it sucks, though, because me and my son were always funny. Like, we joke. He's funny. I'm always making jokes with him.
And then there's a serious moment.
But when it's not only serious, but it's like that's corny. Like, I can't wait till he's old enough to get, like, being, like jokes and shit. So you could say, like, yeah, everybody's welcome, except the blacks, right, Dad? Haha. But it's just a joke.
Yeah.
Okay, now if I said that, he would be like, oh, so black people are bad? Like, you know what I mean?
That's like...
so you gotta be a little corny with a 4-year-old.
My son was saying something about this kid, Chris, at school, right? And I was like, Chris, is that that's the black kid, right? And he was like, he looked at me like, what?
He's like, black.
Like, yeah. And I was like across the street that you know, and he came over and played basketball, and he's like, yeah.
He was good?
I was like, yeah, so now he's like, he's black. He's like...
But what do you think he thinks?
Now, when I say that,
means?
though, it's different, though. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not like I'm trying to point out, but that is like a, you know?
But what do you think do you think he knows that it's like his skin color? Or he thinks like because he has black hair,
I think he understands it now, though, but before, yeah, he wore a black shirt, maybe, you know what I mean? Like...
But is he ever...
It's crazy how kids do not see that,
No,
you know?
No, they don't. My son saw it as like...
it just looks different to me.
My son saw it as like... Because we've been watching Rocky, and he was... Because when I said all that, he's like, well, but... He said Apollo's son, Rocky is his uncle. Because in the movie, Adonis Creed calls Rocky uncle or whatever. Mm-hmm. He's like, he's his uncle, and he has dark skin, right? Like our family. And I was like, yeah, exactly. I didn't tell him that's not really his uncle and all that. I was like, yeah, they're family. They love each other, and they look a little bit different. I was like, everybody looks different. Mm-hmm. You know, no two people look exactly the same. So, and like, luckily, he watched Rocky, and he made that connection. Because I could just see that going down a path of, they're different, so fuck them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's never even had that, like he doesn't get that from me at all.
It's gonna start somewhere, though. That's the thing, though.
But I teach him young. You're not any better or worse than people that look different. You teach him young.
It's all just people.
So hopefully when
people are like, y'all are completely different on this podcast than you'll ever have. I would have thought a different way with y'all.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll joke about everything and anything, but when it comes down to it, I'm not going to raise another, like a generation of racist people. Mm-hmm. My family, there's like racist people. Your family, they would be, but up there, there's no blacks.
Yeah, there's no, like, well, there's no,
it's the same thing as when you were when you told Alex, like, is he black?
Everyone up there is Smiths.
When you told Alex, like, is the guy black? He's like, huh? It's the same thing with your dad's side. They're like, what do you mean black? They're like, he wears black shirts sometimes.
That wasn't okay.
No. But, yeah, so it's a weird thing because he is going to go to school. And he's probably going to have some friend that's going to say something racist that his dad said. Mm-hmm. And, you know, when you're a kid, your friends are like, oh, he's cool. And he says that, you know, this and that. And, like, I won't allow that. Like,
he's like, he says that he stinks, but I think he always smells good.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You know, you're like,
yeah, exactly.
You know?
It's going to be something like that. And you just have to hope that the base...
Like, me and him always eat chicken the same day.
Yeah.
He never eats more chicken than me. One time on Tuesday, I ate more chicken than him.
Yet again,
right?
Alex, that's because you're poor.
You know what I mean?
Right?
Yeah.
You're both poor, so you both eat chicken.
You know?
Yeah. See, for me, when I was growing up, it was like, not accepted, but like, literally, like, you were told to be racist. Mm-hmm. And somehow it came out of it, you know, mom, because mom wasn't like that, I guess. But with my son, I just hope he doesn't rebel and like, Dad says that me and Macy are the same, even though she's darker, but fuck her. If I ever hear something like that, I might hit him. I don't even know. Mm-hmm. But he did. When he saw Macy, you could see him thinking like, wait, Macy does have darker skin than me. Like, it never occurred to him.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, hopefully I, like, averted that, you know. But I wonder if your kids are ever going to, like, see that...
They're different colors.
Yeah, but are they ever going to see, like, your wife is way more dark complected than you? Mm-hmm. And I wonder if they're ever going to wonder, or if it's just like, yeah, that's what mom... Also, she's shorter than him, you know? It's like that, or if they'll ever be like... If they'll ever see anything... And if you're listening to this and you think...
He's like, she's not related. She wears glasses.
Yeah, it could be anything that's different about her than you.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're 3 times her size. Yeah. It's like, they don't look the same species. Yeah. You know? It's like, you know, whatever. But
like, she's a giraffe and he's a buffalo.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do they make us?
So, yeah, I know. But people listening to this might think like, oh, this is crazy. But, I mean, we live, you know, in South Texas. Maybe in some places it's really not in it. Like, your kids aren't going to hear racist stuff in school. Ours will for sure. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt. And it'll be less than I heard growing up or anything. But there's no doubt that your kid's probably going to be picked on for his mom being Mexican one day. I mean, for sure that's probably going to happen. And like, your mom is whatever. And you're going to have to...
Yeah, because he don't look Mexican.
At all. Yeah, he doesn't at all.
So, I mean...
Your daughter does way more.
At least older people are going to be thinking, like, you know, that's his stepmom or something. You know
Somebody's going to say something.
And, like, because, I mean, he doesn't look like her at all.
Not only does he not look like her, she looks way younger than you. So it looks like a second wife kind of a situation. You would pass for mid-40s. She could pass for, like, high school.
Thanks.
I mean, it is what it is. You did something right. Yeah. You got a wife that looks like an underage girl. You're killing it. You know?
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. I just thought of that just happened before I came here is me and my son had a race debate. I just don't want him to ever come to me when he's like 8 and he's like, you know, this guy Adolf Hitler had some good ideas. Yeah. I'm like, no. I mean,
he's like, but where he messed up is.
You got to finish, right, Dad? That's what you always say. When you start something, you finish.
Yeah.
He's like, final solution, my ass. I'll show him how to do it.
Yeah.
You know, but what do you do, though?
They're calling it second to final.
Yeah. I wonder, though, I want to get to the point where I could say, like, my son's like, we learned about Hitler today, and I could be like, hey, you had some good ideas, right? And then he's like, and I'm like, you know, the Autobahn and the trains, you know, something like, but now I have to be like, you have to be black and white with little kids. I'm like, no, that bad. It's never okay to say that dark people are not as good. But then he listens to the podcast one day and he's like, but y'all said shit like that constantly. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, but we didn't mean it. Yeah. And he's like, sure you didn't, Dad.
Yeah. You both laughed constantly for 10 minutes.
You got real serious and talked about how the white man was going to rise again, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was something worth bringing up because, you know, this is our therapy. Mm-hmm. But speaking of purebred white people, the dumbass fucking, I don't know, princess had a baby.
What?
Yeah, and it was like all over the news and shit.
I don't watch news.
You work too much.
Yeah.
I don't watch news. I don't sit there and it's like KHOU 11.
And you're all like, hold on, let me get my toast.
Yeah. I'm sitting there drinking black coffee and eating dry toast, watching.
Birds are chirping outside in a feeder that you built in your weird garage.
And I'm watching it just because the weather lady's kind of attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old Jim on there is hilarious, right?
I can remember there's a weather girl that's on one of the local ones. Her name's like Cheetah something.
What?
Yes, it's like Cheetah Jackson or something. I don't know. She's white.
There's a Mexican chick on one of them that she got like a big ass.
Yeah, she's pretty hot. I know who she is. My dad used to watch it every morning. I would go to work, ride to work with him, and every day he would talk like aggressively sexually about her. at like 5:30 in the morning. It's so weird to be like horned up over somebody on TV at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Morning sex if you're married, that's one thing. But like to be watching TV and be like, man, I'd like to, and my dad, you know him, he doesn't like pull punches. He's like, I'd like to rub my dick on her thighs or something like that every morning. For like years I would hear that, and I was like, I wish he would just hire a fat weather girl or something, you know? Yeah, I know who you're talking about. She is hot. But there was one, her name was like Cheetah Johnson or something like that, and she's like from Houston. And I can remember being a kid and people talking about her, but I think she's still on there. And she's still, you know how like Vanna White is still like a go-to for like a certain generation of like, man, fucking Vanna. And if you see when they zoom in on Vanna White, I mean, she looks 60. Yeah. She's in good shape. If you had to fuck a 60-year-old, she'd be near the top of your list. But she's not like the ideal, like if I could fuck anybody, it wouldn't be Vanna White. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like she's...
You push all these off to the side and you're like, Vanna.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like, it's Vanna White and like...
There's all these young chicks, right?
It's like these hot 26-year-olds or whatever. But it's Vanna White. I feel like she looks good in her glamorous dress, but she has coffee breath. You know what I mean?
Even Vanna in her day. Like, you know what I mean? There's just other better looks.
Well, in her day, she was that, like, early 90s hot chick.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, like, even, like, in her day versus girls in their day now and other ones, I mean...
Yeah. There's a lot I would take over her.
Yeah.
There are guys who, just because they've been watching Wheel of Fortune for, like, 37 years... They just, in their head, it's like Vanna White. It's also the same with Dolly Parton. It's like, Dolly Parton is gross looking, but there are still guys who are like, man, if I could hook up with her. It's like, you probably could. What are you talking? She's fucking gross. Like, what do you mean if you could? Like buy her coffee and she probably puts out.
I like to stumble in her bed.
I like to work 9 to 5.
They're like, it's probably full.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
But
Vanna White is like my dad. That's another one. My dad would be like, "Man, look at Vanna, man. She sure looks good." And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, she does."
To him, she's young.
Well, yeah, she's probably.
Well,
how old do you think Vanna White is? If you had to guess, let's both guess, and I'm going to Google it while you're guessing.
I think she's probably 63.
Okay, 63. I'm going to say 63 and a half.
Really?
Oh, 62. It's without going over.
Really?
So it's a different game show.
That's a different game show, yeah. You're like, one! She's not a year old!
$1!
Oh, shit.
She even has a dumb
whoever's closest without going over, right?
Yeah. Dude, what did I say?
62 and a half?
Dude, she's 62.
Yeah, you used my number.
I know. I was guessing like...
Damn, that's pretty good, though.
My real guess was like 66.
And she still knows how to walk by and push buttons on TV.
Hold on, dude.
Yeah, they're all touchscreen now.
Well, she doesn't...
Hold on, when is her birthday?
I don't know. I found a picture of her, like, sexy.
He's at 62 and a half.
Hold on, I gotta see this picture. Look at that, dude. She looks like our mom.
That's not her.
Look at just her face. No, that's her face. That picture's from, like, the 80s. Look at her ass. Girls just didn't have asses. Girls just
if you're watching this right now, look up Vanna White, autographed, signed, 8x10
reprint, E-Crater.
E-Crater?
It's like an
ass crater. Right?
I mean, she doesn't have an ass. She has thighs that go up to her belt.
Yeah, her ass just keeps going down to halfway.
Like it doesn't stick out at all. No. Like really at all.
No.
What did you?
Just her thighs are real thick, though. Yeah.
I mean, she's a pretty face and not fat. That's what you had to be back then. Pretty face, not fat.
Now it's like there's got to be certain things that stick out.
You have to have
spots.
You got to have a nice looking ass.
It's like what people expect is a very skinny waist, big boobs, big ass.
But you can do no big tits. But if you don't have a nice ass, it doesn't have to be huge, but you have to have a nice shaped ass to be a good looking woman.
Yeah.
If you just have Vanna White now, if Vanna White looked like that and became like something now.
Now that was Vanna Black.
Vanna Black, she's Vanna White's only because no black guy's touching that nasty ass. But I want to see Vanna White now, and I bet it looks like your grandma, but like made up. You know, like took care of herself. You know what I mean? Like you can take any 60-year-old. I mean, yeah, she just looks like an old lady that didn't get out of shape. She looks like she's had.
Ah, dang,
She looks like she's taking a few punches or something.
Yeah.
She looks a lot like our mom, doesn't
That's what happens when you're standing really close to screens.
Dude, what the fuck?
You know what I mean?
Go to the Google Vanna White now images and go to the second one. She looks like on Total Recall when their faces.
Oh yeah,
You know?
when they're doing the thing to yeah.
Dude, what the?
No, but she looks like she's what you would do if you're staring at TV screens really close.
Yeah, and then there she looks.
Her eyes.
I mean, yeah, she looks like an old lady. She doesn't look like a. If you're 62 and she's your wife, you're killing it. But you know other 62-year-olds that are hotter.
Yeah.
There's some of those like models that are like I don't think of their names. That are like Pete Davidson's banging some chick that's like 50 something that like she still looks good.
50 something?
Yeah, Kate.
I watched a movie the other day. He was gay on it.
Oh, really?
It's pretty funny.
I've never
He's a
seen him in a
comedian.
movie.
It's like he's not going to be on something like a serious like tearjerker movie.
I don't think he has.
You know what I mean? Unless it's like laughing tears.
Yeah, I don't think. I remember thinking when he first got on SNL, I was like, this dude's going to be a big star like Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
And what I didn't know was
he is fucking tall.
Oh, is he tall?
Yeah.
I know he's got a big dick.
Crazy tall. It goes with being tall, I think.
You know, if you're tall and lanky, I've had 3 different girls tell me this. Now, note, I'm not lanky. So girls are telling me this, but I've heard a bunch of girls say tall, lanky, like skinny guys always have big dicks.
Alex.
Yeah.
You know?
Alex is, yeah. So that's what, I've had a bunch of girls tell me that. And it's funny when they tell me
I
that.
didn't lose weight. It doesn't work that way.
It does, though. If you're fat and you lose weight, you gain dick. I mean, because I've gained and lost weight, and the biggest my dick's ever been was when I was at my lowest weight.
Let's not go down this road.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
your dick is bigger when you lose weight.
Yeah, but when we start talking about dicks on this show,
it goes in spirals.
Yeah, I was gonna say it goes down. Right?
I mean, it does.
But
so anyway, what we've covered so far is Vanna White's not that hot.
And
My
dicks
son-
are little, right? She makes it happen that way.
They always say that, Pat Sajak and Vanna White, they were always just been friends. They fucked.
Oh, God, they still do.
They're both decent-looking people for I mean, Pat Sajak is weird-looking, but
yeah,
in shape, whatever. And they've worked together for 30-something years. At one point, something, she gave him a handy before the show or something. It's like she's got jizz on her hand. There's some moment when she watches old episodes, she's like, I had jizz on me. In that, nobody could see it.
Yeah.
The dress wasn't that sparkly,
Yeah.
It's like, but,
Yeah.
they clearly have hooked up before.
Oh, shit.
He's like, say Jack. She's like, Jack, whatever. I know.
He's like, it was just Vanna before. I put the white. Right?
He's like, I gave her all 4 vowels. Or
Yeah, really?
more than 4 vowels.
Anyways.
I hope Vanna White's husband is just a long-time listener of this show.
Yeah.
And he's listening at home. He's like, I knew it.
Yeah.
You lying whore.
He's like, I've seen that episode.
Her hand did stick to the tile a little bit when she touched he's like, strangely enough, it was the D she was touching when it's there, her hand stuck.
She's rubbing it.
But, how crazy would it be if our biggest fan was Vanna White's husband, Mr. White?
Vanna White, right?
And he knows that he's Vanna White's husband. I mean, unless she's married to like Donald Trump or something. I bet Donald Trump fucked her. He fucks those kind of chicks.
Old chicks?
No, but I'm saying like girls that have
He's
that.
fucking way older than her.
Yeah, what is he? He's like almost 70, or is he 70?
No, he's like 72.
That motherfucker is old.
Yeah. He was 70 when he got it. When he got the job.
70 is old if you're in good shape. It's
What-
real old when you're fat.
Because they're starting to do getting ready for the election and stuff, or whatever, the race, not the election. And then that's going to start next year. You know what I mean? Because the next November is when they do it.
I just can't. I don't
Which
care.
they need to,
I wish I cared. I wish I cared, and I was like, the election.
It's not that I don't. It's just I wish there was better options. It's just every time it's going on, it's
But it's always going to be a politician, and they're not. They're all the same.
either a politician or somebody that.
But even Donald Trump, he's like, well, he's not a politician. No, he is. He won a big election. You got to be a politician to win a big election. He did things differently for sure, but
He threw a lot of his own money into it to get it happen there too.
yeah, but it's the same. Here's something that I heard somebody said the other day, like a smart person, not like a comedian or whatever. But somebody said they're like talking about how the CIA like gets to presidents, like they kind of like have something on them and get what they want done, right? Mm-hmm. And they're like, think about this. They're like, if people say that Donald Trump can't be controlled, they're like, think about this. He got shook down for money by a porn star. Mm-hmm. You don't think the CIA could get him?
Yeah.
Like, just think about that. A porn star shook him down for $30,000. You don't think the CIA could get something on him and control him? They do that with every president. Your beloved Barack Obama, that everybody's like, oh, he was... All of them. They have all these ideas of what they want to do, and then they don't do them. So why don't they do them? Everything seems to keep going towards more wars and shit. Yeah, the CIA. And Donald Trump's easy to get to because people get to him all the time.
Yeah.
You could probably get to him.
All they gotta do is say, like, go on Twitter and be like, Donald Trump's an idiot. And he's like, no, you're an idiot. Right?
I love when you do that. I almost want to, like, bring him up, even though I don't care about politics, just so you'll do Donald Trump. You're like... Really? I do it, and I think, like, oh, it sounds good. And then you do it, and I'm like, I stopped doing it. I'm just sound like me.
I can't do it when I'm thinking about it, though.
I'm
it just happens.
Donald Trump. You know, I do that, and I'm like, sounds pretty good. Then you do it, and I'm like, I wish I wouldn't have done it. Like, can we edit? But it's crazy. You may not be, like, the world's greatest, whatever that's called, where you do people's voices. I wish I knew words. But you're the one here. Like, you're the house... impressionist, you know?
Yeah. If I'm like, I can't do it when I'm talking about it. Like, other people just will do it.
But if we just had to have, like, a Marlon Brando, it's got to be you. Like, I can't do it.
About that, but yeah.
You're, like, stuffing something in your mouth to do the thing. Because every time somebody does Brando... have you seen a lot of his movies?
Yeah.
I don't know that I really have.
I mean, he, like, stopped doing them.
Apocalypse Now.
Like, what is it, early 90s? He was one of his last ones, I think.
Yeah, he was in, like, some bad movies. What was he? He was in...
he was in something, not somewhat recently, but, like...
I mean, he's dead, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he's dead. But he was in something that, like, there was no reason for him to be... It was a very, very low-budget movie, but he was, like... And he wasn't even the main guy in it.
Is he rich?
I'm sure.
I mean, like, multi-rich, or is he, like, Nicolas Cage rich?
I'm sure he is.
Nicolas Cage is like rich, but he files for bankruptcy after every movie. Like, once the movie money runs out,
what is he doing? Is he going gambling? You know what I mean?
I think he buys weird shit. Like, I know that.
So. I think it's just like when he wants to go buy something, he does a movie.
Yeah, I think so.
And he like buys shit every week.
But people talk
every
shit
week
about
he's
that.
doing another movie.
Every time his fucking electric bills due, he does a movie.
He's like, hey, let's hurry up and get these scenes done because at noon I got another movie to do. Right?
They're like, we want you for this movie. He's like, I'll take it. They're like, you're not even gonna listen. They're like, you ride a motorcycle and your hair's on fire.
They're like Raising Phoenix 10 or something. I mean,
Raising Arizona.
Or whatever it is, yeah.
No matter what, like, you could make fun of him all you want, but he did Raising Arizona. And
it's a Raising Phoenix.
And that's more specific.
Yeah.
But he did Raising Arizona, so he's good for me. Like, I don't care what else he does. He could do just home videos.
My employees fly into Phoenix, Arizona, and I was talking about it today. I guess that's why it was on my mind.
Phoenix, Arizona. This is a bad time of year to start going to Phoenix. I remember I had this buddy from Tonopah, Arizona.
Yeah, I had a friend from Tonopah, too.
How weird is that?
Hedgecock.
We're talking about two different guys.
Yeah.
I don't know my guy's name, but...
Yeah, Jason Hedgecock. He said in school everybody called him Hugecock.
Yeah. But it was just because of the name.
Yeah. He's like, I never thought about that.
If his name was Smilkick,
right?
They would call him Smallcock.
Right?
It wasn't because he has a huge
He's
cock.
Like, everybody called him a Hugecock. And I was like, oh, because your name? He's like, damn, I never thought about that.
Right? Like, shit.
Yeah, that's why they said it. I thought someone saw me, man. Right? He's like, I was wondering why they called me that. Right?
He's like, I was wondering how small other guys' cocks were. If mine's huge.
Yeah.
He's like, you could barely see mine for the pubes.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
He's like, all the girls disagreed.
Dude, I remember one time in high school, we were talking about, I know you like, we don't want to talk about dicks this time, but we were talking about how big, everybody was like, how big's your dick, right? Mm-hmm. And it was all guys that were like, we played football together, we'd all like, had showers. And if you said like, my dick's 10 inches, they'd be like, no, it's not. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And everybody was saying how big their dicks were, and I was thinking like, fuck, I didn't want to say. Because I was like, everybody was like way bigger than mine. Like 7, 8 inches. I was like, fuck. And I didn't want to say. And then they got to this one guy. They're like, "So how big is yours?" And he's like, "You mean like hard?" They're like, "Of course." I was like, "Oh, thank God." I was like, "Okay, now I'll talk."
Yeah.
Because I was thinking like, these guys' dicks. I was like, their dicks must be huge when they're hard. Because to me, it's just like, if we're talking amongst guys, we're talking about how big your dicks are. It's just conversation. It's not about fucking.
Yeah.
I'm just assume we mean soft. And I'm like, these guys are all fucking dragging meat, and I'm over here like. Let's look at this one guy we were talking another time about dicks. It came up a lot. And somebody made a joke like, your dick's so small, your pubes are longer than your dick. This one guy, he's like, yeah, if you stretch them out. He's your pubes are curly?
Yeah.
And we were like 16. Your pubes weren't even done growing, really.
Yeah.
But he's like, yeah, if you stretch them out. But he wasn't like being funny. He was just like, really?
Like, he's like, see?
He's like, really? If you stretch them out, they're longer than his dick, you know? But I never understood why that was an insult. Your dick's small. So? That's just your dick. I mean, that's like, you're short, haha. It's like, I know. I mean,
yeah. It
sucks, I guess. I wish I was taller, you know? I didn't choose to have this dick or
There's
be
a
this
surgery
height.
for that, for everything now.
Is there really a safe surgery to get a bigger dick, though? Are you going to have a normal-looking big dick?
Somebody doesn't want theirs. You might be able to let sew theirs on.
Yeah, but anybody that doesn't want their dick, it's because it sucks. Nobody's like, I don't want this 12-inch dick.
Yeah, you're like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, Caitlyn Jenner, she's tall. He had to have a pretty
big-ass athlete.
good size, right?
I think he still has a dick.
No, they cut that thing off.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure they... Look it up.
I
don't want to see a video or nothing.
I do.
Famous people all like show it, you know. But
my Google history right now is interesting.
Yeah.
Vanna White,
CIA.
age.
They've been listening to us anyways.
Yeah.
Right?
What's his name?
What's his name? Caitlyn.
Jenner. What I was thinking.
I mean, we talk about. We always. It's every single time
Caitlyn Jenner
we talk about Caitlyn Jenner all the fucking time.
A lot. It's too much.
We talk about
what would I type? Genitals?
I guess so. Surgery. I mean, come on. they know what surgery.
Everybody has to be Googling
right?
this.
Yeah.
Stop
like probably
staring.
right now.
Oh,
what?
Caitlyn Jenner in 2017 announced. Caitlyn Jenner says she has undergone genital surgery 2 years after the Olympic-winning decathlete announced she had transformed to a woman. Jenner, who is 67, yada, yada, yada.
67 and chopping off your dick.
You had a dick for 67 years. You're not going to hold on to it for the last 10 or so?
Or 65. 67 years old now, right?
Jenner's 67. Yeah, now. So 65.
Okay. Right. Oh, okay. 65, right?
But, I mean, you had a dick. You had a dick as a little kid, puberty.
You were an old man, and now
Think
you're
about
a
this.
woman?
Puberty.
You were never a woman.
Wife. Everything. Old age, like, everything starts to go. And then you're like, you know what? He had a dick. That means that he really didn't like having a dick. Because he really played it out to see if he liked it.
We were not going to be able to make this thing tight. It's good that you're going to be an old woman, right?
But wouldn't it be weird, though, if you were 67 and you just had, like, the pussy of a 16-year-old girl?
Yeah.
That's not good. That's weird. You need to have an old lady's.
Yeah.
You need to have, like, a twat. You know, you don't need to have a nice cooter or whatever.
No.
You need to have just, like, it needs to look like it's been rode hard. There has been a dick there for years. It's like, it's not a lot of dick.
Is he with someone?
It said, when I typed in Caitlyn Jenner, the first thing was Caitlyn Jenner boyfriend. You want to see what he looks like?
No. Is it another, like, 6'7" athlete?
I hope.
You know what I mean?
Their kids are going to be fucking great athletes.
He can't have kids.
I know. I mean, he has kids.
No, you know what I mean. He can't
He can't, like,
do
shit.
that. So he went from being
his boyfriend's a hot chick?
He went from being a grandpa to a grandma.
It says boyfriend. That thing has a dick, I'm guessing.
All right, hold on, though. He went from being a grandpa to a grandma.
Yes.
That's just...
How often does that... Like, I get there's a lot of trans people, but how often are they grandpas? Like, how often are you like... Like, that can't be very... That has to be rare.
Yeah, I mean, eventually it won't be, you know? But, I mean, like...
Sophia Hutchins.
I don't think... You know, like, whenever you watch movies, like...
That's Caitlyn Jenner's boyfriend. Their words, not mine.
So...
They're pretty tall, both of them.
Ugh.
Bruce is like 6'3", and his boyfriend.
They don't need bodyguards.
But no,
They
but
just
at least that one looks like an attractive woman-ish.
Yeah.
Bruce Jenner scares me.
Yeah, that's nasty. So, anyways,
yeah.
it looks like he looks like if Julia Roberts did that male face thing.
I saw one of those jokes today because everybody the last week or so has been having that Snapchat where it makes you look like a man if you're a woman.
Yeah.
And that's what and it showed a picture of Bruce Jenner and then Caitlyn Jenner, but it was backwards. Yeah. And it said, everybody this week on Snapchat.
That's ridiculous.
What's weird about that, you saw it, I think, is our sister did one and it looks exactly like me.
Yeah.
I would be an ugly chick. I know that now.
Mm-hmm.
She knows it too. She knows she'd be an ugly guy.
They usually have those the girl way. They make someone look girly or whatever. But
do you ever see like a grown man that you respect as a man that has like tools and a truck, and they do those ones with like where it makes their whatever it is, the normal one that makes girls look pretty or whatever, where they have no blemishes on their face, and their eyes look all whatever.
And it puts like makeup on.
You see like a dude have that, and you're like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Like what chick are you trying to impress, or dude, or whatever? Like, because it's not like
around here, yeah, but other places, I mean, that people like that.
Because
kind of
here, men are still and are expected to be like men by like a 1950s definition. Mm-hmm. If you're a man, like you work on your truck. When you get cut, you act like it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
You don't cry when you watch movies. Like, that's still fully expected.
They cried during movies in the 50s?
Men didn't. There's no way. There's no way.
You're like, men did.
I mean, yeah, that was like a real response, like a guttural, like no, they definitely didn't.
Oh, shit,
There's no way some dad in the 50s that like worked on the fucking oil field where you could actually get killed at work all the time still.
Yeah.
Came home and was watching like...
He lost 9 brothers on the same rig.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, like he's...
Yeah, that day.
Yeah.
And then he comes home and he's watching...
He's like Jim, Pete, Stu, John. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, he's like, died today.
When he watched Old Yeller, he just was like, stupid movie. Like, there's no way he cried. And if he did it privately. Like, complete... Dude, I was watching a video the other... This is what pisses me off.
He's like, I'd have killed the dog twice. Right?
Yeah. He's like, fuck that dog. I'd have killed the kid, too.
Yeah.
For bringing that mangy mutt home. So... I watched this video today, maybe, and the headline thing, it was like...
I'm sorry we gave someone spoilers on that. Right?
The dog died, sorry. The movie's 60 years old. Yeah. I remember thinking it was old when I was a little kid, so... But, so I watched this video. It was like on Facebook. It was like one of those clickbait videos. But the title was like, this is a tearjerker, be prepared to whatever. Now, I've always been, and it's because of the way I was raised, and because I think I have like a personality disorder, is that like I don't get very emotional, or I didn't. Mm-hmm. As I get older, it's bad. Mm-hmm. So I'm watching this video, and this is all it is. I feel dumb even saying this. The video is, it's like a karate class, and there's this little kid. And this is probably why it got to me. He's like about the age of my son, and he has to kick the board and break it, and you can tell all the other kids already have, and he's kicking it. I mean. He's never going to break it. Yeah. He's hitting it this hard. Like, seriously.
He's trying, but it ain't.
Because you got to kick it like you pick your foot up and you bring your weight down. It should be pretty easy, but he's just not, like, agile enough. He's never going to break it. And the instructor's like, all right, do your stance right. And the instructor's being real, like helping him out and, like, being positive but being, like, stern with him. And the kid's crying because I guess he's embarrassed because all the other kids probably broke it without trying. And you can tell he's by a lot, like the smaller kid there and all that. So he does it like 40 times, and then finally he breaks it, and I got like choked up when he broke it. I was like, oh, that little fella, he's trying so hard. Yeah. And the other kids are like, yeah, and they rush him and they, whatever. And I'm not going to tell the story anymore. Wow. No, I'm not going to cry now.
Start crying.
No, but I got emotional. I was like,
and then?
Yeah, but I really did. And I used to not be like that at all. Used to, like, nothing like that. And I don't know if it's being a dad, maybe, or just getting older, but...
I think it probably is that, though.
Being a dad?
Yeah.
I mean, the kid looked a little bit like my son.
Yeah.
Around the same age. I see my son struggle and accomplish something, and it gives me that... Dude, I had that with your kid the other day.
What?
I got all choked up.
Oh, when he's at the Easter thing?
Yeah, I'll tell it, just for the... There's this game that we had this big Easter thing at my dad's house. Who we've said it before, but me and not Dwight's dad, my
We
dad.
got fucked up lives, dude. Come
Yeah.
on.
So his gets weirder.
Yeah.
Dwight's kids went to my dad's thing, even though Dwight didn't. So anyway, they have these little games for the kids to play, egg toss and shit. And one of the games, you put an Oreo cookie on your forehead, and you like look up so that it stays on your forehead, and you have to get it to your mouth, not using hands or anything. And all these kids got in a circle and did it. My son finished first and claims he won. I didn't see it, but I know he cheated.
Mm-hmm.
So my son won. Story is, my son's a badass. No. So my son just wanted to eat the cookie, whatever. All the other kids are struggling. I'm talking like high school kids, junior high kids, everything. And Alex is 7.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's the youngest kid that really tried. And he gets it on there. And all the other kids, one kid got it. A high school kid got it and won. And all the other kids just gave up and ate their cookie. 30 minutes later, I had forgot they were playing it. I was sitting
30
on the
minutes
porch,
later.
About, yeah.
He was still doing the original one?
He still had the cookie on his forehead, and when it would fall, he would put it back on his forehead.
Oh.
And so this dirty-ass cookie on his forehead. And I'm watching him, and I was like, in my head, I was like, go. I was like, because Alex is like, he's always was the underdog. He's so little when he was born, and sick all the time, and he learned to talk kind of late, and you always root for Alex.
Walked late.
Yeah, all that shit. And he's trying and trying. He's got this look on his face of determination. If I had to fight him and he had that look on his face, I'd be a little nervous. And I'm 30 years older than him, And he just tried and tried. And then finally, I sat and watched him for about 5 minutes. And finally, he got it. And he just lit up. And he's like, I did it. And it wasn't like a, I did it. It was like a very
He proved it to himself.
It was a stern, fuck this cookie. I won. And
it tastes like shit.
I choked up a
Spits
little
it out,
bit.
right?
Yeah, I mean, it was
It's got dirt all over
it. But I really did get a little bit emotional because little fucking Alex. And I was like, that kid with that attitude will accomplish whatever he wants.
Well,
nothing will hold him back because he has. I know it's a stupid cookie game, but you got to understand, 12 kids play the game, and except for the high school guys, all the little kids just ate their cookie or just gave up real quick or whatever, or cheated like my son. My son technically did win, but no, but he stuck with it, and he was the only little kid. I think only 2 people did it. 18-year-old that I don't know why he was playing. And Alex, and they probably both at the same reading level was why he was playing. But he accomplished it, and he worked hard, and he accomplished it. And I remember feeling a little emotional. And I was like, what am I? What's next? Am I going to go take one in the ass?
Yeah.
How gay am I?
Yeah.
But he accomplished, and later I took one in the ass. But no, and I was so proud and because Alex is that weird thing in our family where it's not even that he's everybody's favorite, but everybody, with my son, if there's a competition, everybody's like, well, Colin's gonna get all bruised and bloody and try to. But Alex has a determination that doesn't match what he looks like. He's skinny. He looks like he might
Well, when we
he's sick sometimes.
I bought a basketball goal mounted up in the tree and all that stuff, and me and him play out pretty much every single day.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe once a week we don't. But we.
I thought
we
you were
come out
just
here and
backtracking. You're we play every day, maybe once a week.
No, maybe once a week we don't. But we normally, when I get home around 5:36, something like that, and we play for an hour, sometimes all the way till dark. And he wants to shoot and make 50, and then it's we'll pass 50 and still daylight. Oh, let's go to 60, and then we did it to 100 one time. Which I just do little close shots and get the ball for him,
He takes harder shots than you.
But I mean, he's fucking short as shit. But before we go in, I make sure he gets 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Or else we ain't going in.
Have you ever been out there and it's time for work?
I mean, no, but it's late. And I'm I really hope he gets this next one. And it just bounced and hit the rim. I'm damn it, we got to do 3 more again, And eventually he'll get it. But that's good though. But
he has he has a determination about him where he doesn't give up.
Yeah, because if he doesn't, I mean, he gets very upset.
I think he's gonna be very successful at something in his life.
I hope so.
He was like that when he was a baby, though. When he couldn't walk and he was way past the age he should have. He was at our house. It was just him. You weren't there, and we were trying to get him to climb up on the couch, stand up on the couch and get. So we put something he wanted where you could only reach if he stood up. And he was clawing at the couch and trying to pick himself up and trying. And it was, even back then, I remember getting a little emotional. I was like, that kid is gonna be something, because he wouldn't give up. He wouldn't sit down and cry for the thing for us to give it for him.
No, he's never been a crier.
He wouldn't give up and just say, I'll get a different toy. He fought. And I'm talking this,
he cries when he when he just can't do something, you know?
This was like an hour of him trying to get that thing on the couch.
Like he'll cry when it's like it's bothered him that he couldn't, you know? Like really, really bad.
I think he's gonna be like successful. Like, I think my kid has a good chance to be successful because he has something about him where everybody likes him and like whatever. And he has this like, my son seems to be a man even though he's 4. You know, I mean, you know what I mean because you know him. Yeah. But your kid there's like, I don't think he'll ever give up. Don't let him be a soldier. No. That's a bad job. Well, it's a bad job for either one of our kids because mine's retarded and yours like won't give up. Yeah. Yours will be like that Japanese soldier.
Your son's like, I'll stop the bullets with my head. Right? And then, you know.
And Alex will just win the fight.
Mine's like, I'm just going to kill them all, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, you only win if you kill all of the Jews, right? Yeah. And he's like...
My son starts teaching him. He's like, look at this book. He's like, here's some shit I need you to read, Alex.
Instead of the Holocaust, this is going to be the Solidcaust, right?
I know the name of this episode. The Solidcaust.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. But yeah, so... We sound like two dads bragging on our kids, but... Yeah,
you got to be happy though for like.
But I don't need to cry every time Alex eats a cookie. I think I might be breaking down mentally.
Yeah, you ate that cookie.
I'm like, look at that! It was double stuffed.
Give him another one. You know.
I'm babysitting one day. You get home and I'm just sitting there, a mess, tears, mascara running down my cheeks,
empty cookie boxes everywhere.
Alex has got a belly.
Alex is like throwing up cookies.
He's like, do I have to eat more? I'm like, just eat the cookie. But yeah. It's like, I did get a little emotional when we ate the cookie. I have to admit. If anybody listening ever met Alex, though, they would be like all of a sudden rooting for him. He looks like he's like a little sickly, maybe.
It's crazy because the other day he told me, we're talking about our kids, but the other day he went to school. It's it's almost the end of the school year, and they got to take like a toy or something like that. They get to go to the playground and play with it. And
that sounds like so much fun when you're that age.
And he lost his toy. Like it was, he took a dinosaur, and it was a dinosaur that another friend in class gave him for his birthday earlier in the year, but he lost it. So the next day, 2 different kids brought him dinosaurs from their house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so now he's got 2 dinosaurs.
Next time, let him take a $100 bill.
Really? I thought it was pretty cool, though. One of them was a girl, one of them was a boy, but 2 different kids brought toys from their house to give him.
Are kids
so he was probably
nowadays?
like really upset that he lost it.
Kids nicer nowadays?
I think so, yeah.
When I was a kid, they would have made fun of you.
I think it's
or
just
found
like,
it and threw it in the trash.
Parents and stuff like that, or you know what I mean?
A little more
He said he thinks someone might have taken it, but he was like, but they can have it. I have more toys or something like that. And then 2 other kids brought their toys, so it's like,
he's a solid dude.
That means one kid around like knows that people are just going to give up their toys, so he's like, I'll just take toys. He'll get a toy from someone that doesn't want theirs.
And also, like,
one of them's a rich bitch. I know her. I know her mom and her dad. They got fucking money.
Who are they?
I won't say on here, but I mean, I know who they are, and I know they have money.
They might have got him a nice dinosaur.
You know?
Like a remote control dinosaur, like those ones we had.
No. It's just regular fucking dinosaurs, dude.
But it must be, though, that people are our generation is raising nicer kids. When I was a kid, like, it was brutal.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't none of that. I remember when I was in kindergarten.
See, I thought it was going to be, like, bad. Like, you would think with, like, the technology and be able to look out everywhere.
No, but you're thinking, like, cyberbullying.
Social media. No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like, you're able to just watch YouTube videos. Everybody's open to everything. So, but maybe it's just like they're growing up mentally faster.
But you know what I think, though? I think there's give and take because I think our kids will probably they'll definitely grow up in a less cutthroat world than we did, for sure. I mean, you know the shit.
You can't do anything anymore.
When you were his age?
When you're doing an application with somebody or an interview with somebody, you can't fucking ask them anything anymore.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of
anything.
Stuff you can't ask.
All you can do is ask them a couple scenarios and read them off of what they answer. And you're done.
Imagine if you had your job, but like 30 years ago, you're like, you're not gay, right? You could say shit like that.
Yeah, they're like, fuck no, I'll fuck your mama, right? Yeah. You're like, I like you, right? You shake hands and you put them to work.
Now when you're interviewing
you're like, and you work $2 an hour. Great, right?
Now when you're interviewing somebody in your head, you're like, he's not gay, is he?
Yeah.
Like, it's in your head, but...
They can't say how much they want. for pay. You can't even talk to them.
You can't even talk about their age, right?
You can't ask them their age. If
Some
they tell you
8-year-old comes in for a job.
You can't ask them about their family. You can't ask them about, of course, their sex or anything like that, you know?
How much trouble would you get into as, like, a person hiring if you were, like, some guy came in and he was, like, vaguely Asian, and you're like, what are you, like, a Chinaman? Or, like, you said something like that.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Like, you just, like, look, I'm not going to not hire you if you are. I need to know.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know if you're going to be a good chink in the chain here. Right?
Like, we got enough chinks in the armor, if you know what I mean. But, the next guy's white, he comes in, you're like, come on in, you know? What the fuck?
You're definitely not a chink in this chain, right?
Yeah. But I think, though, that there's, with all the access they have to everything, I think it's like a double-edged
Man,
thing.
this floor looks spick and span. Right?
Yeah.
Anyways.
so anyway, when you do those kind of jokes, you always try to think of a black one that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was thinking something to do with Jigaboo. I was going to, and I'm like, what am I going to say?
Because you can say whatever you want about Mexicans. You're like, oh, my wife's one. Chinese, they don't listen to this shit. They produce.
Yeah, they're not. They're better than that.
But black people, it's like, you don't really want to hurt any black people's feelings. And you personally know black people that if it gets back to them, they can hurt you.
Yeah.
But what I was saying was, I think that all their access to everything nowadays is like a double-edged sword. They may be better, like nicer and all that, but they also are less engaged with people because they don't bullshit like we did. Like when you were 7, you were hanging out with me and Heath, and we were going, and maybe we were doing like crimes and shit, but you were learning how to, like, you were talking to older kids, and I don't, like, your kids don't like go out and talk to a bunch of other kids a lot now, right? Or at least not maybe in school, but like when we were kids, like in Deerwood, we were talking about it the other day. We were in Deerwood. Remember we had a friend named Tiger? You would never let your kids hang out with a guy like Tiger. You probably you were real little.
No, my son talks to other kids.
A lot?
Like, all right.
But he's not like...
We thought it was really strange. One night, we were over there, we were all like, we're all going to sit at the table and eat dinner tonight, right?
That is weird.
Yeah, so it was really weird. We all sat there, and the kids were like looking at us funny. And Alex was like, while he was eating, he was like, how was your day? You know, it was really strange.
He learned that off a movie, though.
Yeah, and then, well, no. That's what we thought then, too, though. And he would, like, look over at my wife and say it, look at Macy, and she'd say it, and they would go back and forth. And every once in a while, he would say that while he's eating, he would come in and talk to us, and he'd be like, how was your day? It was really strange.
Yeah.
Well, Crystal went to a party the other day, Saturday, and they were all sitting around eating, and another kid said that to him. And they were like, it was all back. Another kid said it to him.
Oh, they're probably being
And another one. It was all down the fucking table. They're all saying it.
That is weird.
So I was like, how was your day? And they were like, oh, and they're like, what did you do today?
All their days were the same.
It was just talking back and forth like that. They're trying to be all like formal. I'm like, did they learn that in school or something?
Are we raising a generation of
all these fucking kids are talking like that?
Of like,
she was like,
like British types?
I don't know. She was like, it was really weird because they all said it just like he does.
Your kid's drinking a high C with his pinky out?
He likes bow ties.
Yeah, maybe that's Alex, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you know my son, how he dresses.
Mm-hmm. He likes fedoras and bow ties.
That is
like
weird.
I'm pretty sure he's from like he should be in like California or something, right?
or like the 30s,
you know.
But my son dresses himself mostly, and he wears jeans, boots, button-up long sleeve shirts, and sometimes a cowboy hat. I don't dress like that. Like I grew up around like ranches and shit like that, but I don't wear like the cowboy boot. I mean, I wear boots, but I mean, I don't dress up like it. My son, that's how he prefers to dress.
Yeah, I bought Alex.
What's up with this generation? Are they more? What's the word? Where you like do your own thing, independent? Your son dresses like that. Why? My son, why?
I don't know where he got that.
Part of my son is my dad dresses kind of like that, but it's like that's what he wants to dress. When it's super hot outside, my wife has to like fight him to get him in shorts. He wants to wear his boots and his pants and his button-down long sleeve shirt. That's how he likes to do it. And his belt. It's weird. I don't. I'm wearing like fucking basketball shorts and a button-up shirt. And
my daughter will just go and change. She'll change like 4 or 5 different things throughout the day.
Oh, my son does that too. He changes to what he's playing. He's like, I need to go change. I'm like, why? He's like, because I'm wearing shorts and I'm Captain America and he wears pants. Like, I'm dumb. I'm like, oh. You're also not 6'4". Like, you just wear what you wear and just pretend, you little fucking asshole. But this has been the Kid Vibe podcast.
Yeah.
I think it's been a good
Not
one.
so bad.
Yeah. I talked about crying over a fucking YouTube clip. Solidcaust was good.
What the hell?
I mean, that was really good. That was so good. I'm glad all that happened back in the 40s. So that joke could happen.
Because it would have never came up, right?
Yeah, you would have just said Solidcaust. I'm like, what does that mean?
I want to go to the Holocaust Museum.
Do you?
What do you... Right?
Do you, though?
Right?
I don't know. I mean, I'd like to see this stuff, but I mean...
See, it's got a lot of pictures of skinny people.
You go there and feel bad about yourself?
When I go to Crystal's family's house, I see the same shit.
They're all skinny. But I mean, really, though, like... There's like this, the shoe room, and they say it like fucks with you. It's like piles of fucking shoes.
It's just what they took off of them before they.
Yeah. But what I think is, if you want to go see something like that for the historical value, but you don't want to like get too sad about it, just think of it this way: they'd all be dead now anyway.
Yeah.
These are people who were alive in the 30s and 40s. Mm-hmm. You know, but really though, I think seeing shit like that, when I go to the fucking Alamo, I get kind of like this sense of like reverence for like the history of the place.
You're kind of too rushed though.
At the Alamo, I take my time.
The big open room, you know, for the people that will probably never go because they're like, I can't go to Texas. You know, there's like the big
Ozzy
open
Osbourne?
room, right? And then you go to
who can't go to Texas?
What do you mean?
He got kicked out of Texas for pissing on the Alamo.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he got banned.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It was a solid reference. You just didn't get it.
Anyways, he like you go down the little aisle parts, whatever, you know, like the open rooms, and you go through there, and they're like, don't touch the walls or whatever, and then like I touched a flag because I wanted to take a picture of it because, you know, I have all of the flags.
It fell on the floor.
No,
oh shit!
I have all the flags there in
all
there,
the Texas flags,
and I wanted to like take a picture of a certain one, and like, don't touch the flags. And I was like, okay, well, she turned her back and we took a picture again, and they're like, don't touch the flags, and I was like, all right, let's get out of here.
See, but when I go there, I have as much as like. In my life, nothing is sacred for the most part. Mm-hmm. But when I go there, and if anybody's wondered, the Alamo, if you don't know, you're fucking retarded. There's a famous battlefield site in the Texas Revolution. But anyway, when I go there, and I've been a bunch of times, I have like a weird, because I'm such a like student of history, I have this like weird reverence for like what happened there. And I'll be like, I'll probably bore people when they go with me. I'm like, you got to realize there were like 180 people here, and they knew they were going to die, and they stayed anyway. And I like get all into it. And you would think of me as like I make like any jokes about anything. But when I'm there, I do have like a certain reference. Now, I make jokes, surely. Like I joke around and like make off-color jokes or whatever. But I do have like that. So I think if I went to the Holocaust Museum, I probably would be like the moment would be big to me. Like it would be.
You think you'd still make jokes about it?
Yeah. I wouldn't make jokes, but I would. But I would really try to be respectful of people there because, you know, some people are there because their grandpa died there and shit.
Yeah.
I would try to be respectful.
Look at that guy, you know. And
you know, I'm like, look at
he looks like you, right?
He's like, it's his grandpa. But I would
like the Solidcaust, right? The guy was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah. But I made a Holocaust joke to my son the other day because I don't remember the nature of it, but it was something about like, somebody he didn't like, and I was like, we should make them all wear stars on their shirt and get tattoos on their arms. And he's like, they could get tattoos on their arms. And I was like, oh. I was like, he doesn't know what I'm talking about, but I don't want that reference to stick in his brain, and he uses it perfectly one day. I mean, I do. Yeah. But he uses it perfectly one day in school, and the teacher's like, get out. Yeah. Like, because there's some shit, like, it's never going to be cool to make a Holocaust joke in school. Mm-hmm. I got in trouble when I was a little kid for laughing at the movie Schindler's List. Mm-hmm. I had no idea what it was about. The
coach was like, to the showers.
But I was watching when I was a little kid. Like, whenever it came out, it was like 93 probably. Mm-hmm. So I was like 10.
Because Liam Neeson's in it, right?
Yeah, like a young...
He's the...
Yeah.
Of course he's young. I mean... Yeah. Younger than he is now in Taken. And that was in like 05 or something, 07.
Anyway, is he always going and saving people that are... Mm-hmm. So anyway, they were watching when I was a kid, and I was like in and out of the room, and I had no idea what it was. and I saw all these really skinny naked people, and I was just like, I made some joke, I don't know, and I was like laughed and made some joke, and I got in like real trouble, and they're like, you don't laugh about that, and I was like, what? It's a movie, and I was like, and I even at the time I had a good argument. I was like, why is it okay to watch in like joy when people blow up in movies, but I can't laugh at these people that are real sick?
Yeah.
And they were just like, you go to your room and you think about what you laughed at. And I was like, and even at the time I remember thinking like, you don't pick what you laugh at, because you don't.
Yeah, if it's funny, it's funny.
If it whatever made me laugh out of that movie, who knows what it was. I don't remember. I just remember getting in trouble. But I remember having like a good old laugh and then getting in trouble for it. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I always thought funny was a good thing, and I still do. I still say, and like I said, I would never want to belittle.
What were you laughing at?
Probably, does it show dicks? Does it show dicks in Schindler's List? Because whatever it was, something I was like, oh, they're skinny or something. Whatever. Whatever I laughed at, but at the end of the day.
How many people died?
In the making of the movie? Probably not many.
You know, like
6 million is the number they use for Jewish people.
Yeah.
You know, and they weren't the only ones on Hitler's shit list. You know, so
Hitler's list.
Schindler's.
He had a much bigger list than Schindler. Right?
Yeah, Schindler's List was like, he saved 40 Jews and made a movie about him.
Yeah.
I'm sure Hitler saved a lot of people. He was a soldier, you know, in World War I. But
you know what I want to see? I want to see them have, like, of course, they'd probably get like
a positive spin.
Yes.
I know. Like really, though?
You know?
And show it from...
show them from childhood.
Or even just show...
they need to do, like, the first, like, 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe.
You don't know who it is?
Do like a... really,
cute kid.
I don't watch previews, so I'll be like, oh, yeah, look at that. What is this? I like...
You're like, Adolf. You don't know that it's Adolf Hitler? This kid's going places.
Yeah, I know.
I thought the art was great.
Why does he look so mad, right? No, but anyways, he's moody, right? But, no, anyways, I like timepiece movies, you know? Like, when it's just, like, a movie that's supposed to be set in present time, you know, I don't like that. I like movies that's like, this is in the 60s, this is in the 70s. I like those kind of movies. So, I mean, I would like a movie that's set in, like, the 30s and 40s or whatever that was, so.
Well, you know that there are movies that are World War II movies from the Nazi perspective, because Germany had a big film industry. So they were making these, like, propaganda films.
Yeah, but I want one about, like, that and, like, the mechanics of it behind the scenes, you know, of him making, like, the order. And, of course, I'm just going to have to be in English. I don't want to have to read it. But, I mean, like, I want all that.
Well, I would like to see, even if they didn't go so far as a Hitler, is I'd like to see, like, say, like, an SS officer, a World War II movie shot from his perspective that's sympathetic. Because...
yeah, like he's going and
you gotta be dumb to think that every fucking Nazi soldier was a bad guy.
Yeah, like he's at the house, he's like gotta go, you know, like he's on his 2 weeks off and it's over and he's gotta go like back to the war.
Yeah, it shows
and he kisses his son and his daughter and the wife and they're crying
of Jewish people.
and like they're like running down the gravel road waving.
Yeah, and he's a solid dude.
He's got like a tear in his eye
Yeah.
because he knows he might not see him again.
Yes.
You know, and he's going off and he's, you know, he says something about, we gotta go kill some more Jews. You know what I mean? And they're like, go get them. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like, they hate them. But you gotta be, like, sympathetic. I wonder at the end of the movie if you're like, fuck those Jews. Like, everyone would be seeing it that way.
I think that I think that if you were honest with yourself and it was done well, you would be like, you could like his character, even though you obviously, like, it's stupid you have to say it. Obviously, I don't think the Nazis were good.
I think people would be hoping that he chooses the other side throughout the whole movie.
But then when he
needs to go home, get his wife and kids, and just move to the United States. Right?
Yeah.
That's what they would be hoping.
But even when he does it, when the movie's over, you're like, you know what? That's one Nazi I could really get behind. You know?
Yeah.
Because if you really think every Nazi soldier was like an evil, vile guy, like, you're stupid. Mm-hmm. Like, they were just people fighting for their country, and then a lot of them, did things way too wrong. Same thing that's happened here. What, you can love the troops and not be cool with how many Indians they killed?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's the same. To me, it's the same. It's easy for me to look at things that way. Most people, they can't. If they made a movie they would be like this pro-Nazi movie, and they would try to shut it down. Mm-hmm. But it would be an interesting take. Mm-hmm. Because I haven't watched yet, but I I guess there's like a Ted Bundy movie now.
Oh, that's good. Zac Efron?
Is he likable at all?
Yes.
That's what I've heard. I've heard that he's likable.
Like you're on his side.
Exactly. You see, so why can I like that because it makes you the name Ted Bundy. You know bad guy.
Because I didn't know anything about it. She was like, "Hey, let's watch this Zac Efron movie on Netflix." I was like, "Oh,
you thought it was like High School Musical?"
I was like, "Oh, this will be." I like him in movies now. I mean, he's usually kind of funny and he's all right with stuff. So I was like, "All right, that's cool." It was going about it, and it was a timepiece movie set in like the 60s and 70s or whatever it was, right? And I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool," and or earlier.
The first chick he murders, you're like, she kind of had it coming.
Well, no, it's just like the way he's going about stuff. You don't know what he's doing yet, But then then he's bad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and he's like a family and all this stuff's going on. And I'm like, he's kind of weird. And I was like, they said something. I was like, hold on. I was like, this like Ted Bundy? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh. And she was like, what? I was like, the murderer.
Yeah.
And then she's like, what? Like, we were like early in the movie.
Know?
I was like, he fucking like kills all these girls.
Yeah.
And then she's like, really? And I was like, you didn't know what this was about?
So you didn't know it was Ted Bundy. She didn't know who Ted Bundy was.
I just knew it was a Zac Efron movie set in the 70s. I was like, where are they getting at this, And then, like...
Damn.
Yeah, I was like, so...
But I've heard that he's like kind of not sympathetic, but he is a likable character and stuff.
Yeah.
You could do that. I think it's interesting. Okay, anybody can make all-around... Anybody can make a movie where Abraham Lincoln comes off as a good guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's on money and shit.
And then you can make it as if he's a bad guy. I mean, you could play either side of that.
But if you can take a vile character, like Hitler, we all know Hitler was bad. Real bad.
Ted Bundy.
Yeah, but if you can take that and even make it, just try to make like some people side with him for part of the movie. To me, that's more interesting than... Who cares about, it's a movie where this terrible killer is hated in a movie. Who cares? We've all seen that. I like to see... So, yeah, I would like to see a nowadays made, American-made movie that takes the Nazi perspective on World War II and sees it as... Not that it even, makes them out to be good guys, but it just... You see it from their perspective. We all understand what a soldier is. It's a... the whole following orders and all that. We all know soldiers do bad shit sometimes. Ours have done it.
Sometimes, though, they're being told to do it, and when you're in the military, they have to do what they're told, or else they're, You
could even show him doing bad things and being really fucked up about it.
Yeah.
Where it's, really tormenting him.
Where he's got the gun, and he's lowering it, and they pick it up, and we're like, shoot, and he's like, no, or he just keeps lowering.
Yeah. He's
not pulling the trigger, and they're they got a gun to his head. He pulls the gun, pulls the trigger.
Make viewers look at him the way you look at African child soldiers, where you're you really side with the kids and they do terrible things. I know it's not the same, but I mean, I'd like to see that. I would watch the shit out of that movie.
We watched another movie.
It won't be made. They can't even make fucking All in the Family nowadays because people are such fucking pussies.
We watched a movie the other day. You know how there was What Women Want with Mel Gibson?
Yeah.
And where he slips or whatever and all of it, huh?
There's What Men Want.
Yeah.
I knew, even though I didn't know.
On the old one, something happens, he hit his head or something, and now all of a sudden he can hear women's voices, right? Or they're not their voices. Right?
He's so...
That's a normal man where he's like, I don't hear him, there's nonsense.
He's so misogynistic that he has to bump his head to start hearing women speak.
They're talking, you're like, oh, you talk? Right?
I thought you just sucked dick and washed dishes.
Anyways.
Who knew? This thing has another feature.
He slipped it in his head, and now he can hear their thoughts. Well, on the new one, it's a black chick.
The other idea would be a way better movie.
She slips, hits her head, and now she can hear men's thoughts. So
is it
dude, honestly, in the first 5 minutes of the movie, it's just this girl. It's clearly showing that she doesn't like. It's just some black. She won an Oscar or something like that last year or something like that. But I don't remember who it is.
There's a mole right here?
No.
Fuck, what's her name?
No. Maybe. I don't know. Anyways, the first 5 minutes, I mean, I knew what the movie was called. I'm like, well, I already know what's going to happen. She's like, my wife's like, what? I'm like, she's going to fall, or she's going to hit her head, or something's going to happen. And now she's going to be able to hear men's thoughts, and it's going to, give her a new way to look at life. And then she's going to end up changing things, and she's going to lose it at the end, and her life's better for it. And she's like, thanks. And I was like,
you gotta know that.
I said, you've never seen what women want? She was like, no. I was
also,
like, oops. I was like, well, I'm sorry. You want to watch something else?
you spoiled it bad.
Yeah. Because, dude, the whole movie, she just, like, sat there and watched it now. It was like, she knew it was...
But also, when you see the title, What Men Want...
Yeah, I mean, she didn't know that she's going to hear, like, you know?
Yeah,
but, I mean,
so.
like, I was like, she's going to hit her head. I thought she had seen it. Who has... You know what I mean? I forgot she was raised Pentecostal. They didn't get to watch movies, you know?
I kind of did the same thing with my son. I told you we've been watching all the Rocky movies lately.
Yeah.
And we were watching...
the Creed movies?
Well, we were watching Rocky 1. We watched them kind of out of order, but we were watching Rocky 1 a couple of nights ago. And he's like, Rocky's going to beat up Apollo, right? And I was like, yeah, it's going to be a good fight. And he kept saying it.
Yeah.
He's like, Rocky's going to win, right? And I was like, yeah, it's going to be good. You'll see. And he kept saying it. I was like, no, Apollo wins. He's like, what? And I was like, oh, that sucks, right?
You just ruined the movie for
Yeah,
him.
He's like, wait, what? Apollo's going to beat Rocky? He's thinking, like, the movie's called Rocky, you know?
He's like, why are we watching? He's going to lose.
Yeah, that was... And I was like, yeah, but... And I was trying to explain to a 4-year-old. I was like, look, he was a bum. He got a chance to the champ. The champ, nobody's ever went the distance. His only goal...
Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Right.
spoiler alert for a movie from 1976.
Yeah.
So I was like, but, you know, his whole thing is to go the distance. And if he can go the distance, then he will know that he's not a bum and he... you know what I mean? And then he is worth something, and he is...
He's like, but he loses?
Yeah, but he was like, he loses? And then it reminded me, I heard years ago, some comedian or something, he said that he had this friend that used to love spoiling movies before the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, he hung out in front of Rocky on opening night, and he's like, Rocky loses, Rocky loses, Rocky loses, when people were walking in.
Yeah.
Just same thing with,
there's a guy recently.
He's like, Darth Vader's Luke's dad, this guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a joke, but he said he had this friend that did that. And I was thinking, I'm that guy. I just ruined it for a 4-year-old.
You were watching that one movie in theaters. And you're like...
Friday Night Lights?
Yeah, but in the theater, you're like...
I gave away that they lost.
At the very end.
I didn't even mean to.
I don't remember what you said.
I know exactly what I said. Our favorite team that we always watch had a really good running quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a scene at the end where the quarterback's trying to run and get the touchdown that would win the game. And you're like, oh, he looks like our guy. We'll call him Jake. You're like, he looks like Jake. And I was like, yeah, but Jake would have scored. And you're like, he doesn't score? And I was like, oh.
Because you had, like, read the book. Or you already
I knew the story. It's a true story. Yeah, and I had read the book. But, yeah, I was like, yeah, but our guy would have scored. And you're like, he doesn't score? I was like, oops.
Yeah.
Like,
and it turns out they didn't even really get that far.
Well, yeah, that, but...
That wasn't the championship game. They only got to a quarter or something like that.
I think they lost into the semifinals because they were playing Anyway, I don't want to talk about brackets in Texas football, but they were playing a Region 1 team.
Oh, shit.
What are we at?
So anyways, people, we forgot to say at the very beginning of this,
fuck.
this is episode 80.
Dude, you were like, this is going to be episode 80. I was like, oh, that's cool. We can do it.
Episode fucking 80.
Yeah, we made it to 80.
Damn.
We should be at 800, but we've had a couple of...
We had 3 years of darkness. Oh, we've had a year and or 2 years of darkness of us talking, but 3 years of us not, doing anything, and then we've been back, and there's a couple hiatuses here and there.
Yeah.
But
sorry I have a life. Actually, I don't really.
But we're back in white.
Yeah.
And
but as we always say, go and leave a positive or whatever review, hopefully 5 stars on iTunes or however you listen. And this is another one, is if you like podcasts, specifically comedy, and go get the app Laughable, the Laughable app. It's like they don't pay us or anything like that. It is. I'm a big podcast listener. It's by far the best app to listen to podcasts.
It's a free app too, right?
Yeah, it's a free app, and now you can get it even if you don't have iPhones.
How? Like, what do they get out of it? Is there ads or something? Just like an ad on the bottom when you're in there?
I mean, I don't even think there's ads, dude.
I don't know how some of these apps even make money.
Like,
I mean, maybe there's ads at the bottom? There's not.
There's no ads on this app.
Maybe some of them make money somehow? I don't know.
Maybe the podcasts that are on it that have ads, a percent. I don't know. Because we don't make money on this one, so there's we don't deal with any of that.
We spend money on this one.
Maybe one day we'll be millionaires.
But
How much? How? I think I've said this before. How much would you trade funny points for money? So let's say you're 10 funny.
Okay.
How many of those points would you give away for $1 million?
No, because the funny's going to stay with you, but you can't really just use it for what we do today life.
No, I know.
You know?
You're not going to... You're almost definitely never going to make $1 million off jokes.
No.
Neither one of us do stand-up, and our podcasts, you know, the people that like it love it, and there's...
But they're not fucking telling people.
There's a small group of them.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
tell your goddamn friends. Do you hate your friends, or do you like your friends? You're trying to show...
They're like, I don't want them to know I listen to this.
They're like, I don't know, he talked about the Alamo and crying at a cookie. I don't...
They're like, the dude fucking talked about his son forever. Right?
Yeah, you cried when your nephew ate a cookie. Wow. Funny stuff.
But anyways, y'all, this has been episode 80. If you can count, you know what the number of the next one's going to be, right?
81?
Yeah. But anyways, we don't know yet what this is going to be called.
Dude, I think
But
we do.
if you've gotten to this part, you've known for an hour and a half. Right?
We always do that, I'm telling you.
I never know what to fucking tag them or anything, but...
What is it called? Solidcaust.
Solidcaust?
It needs to be.
But anyways, y'all, stay tuned. Next week we'll have another one up. And if you've been listening, you are the bad vibe.